Peace, family. Hey, let's go on a field trip. I got a problem. I got a strange addiction. Somebody help me. I need an intervention. It ain't alcohol or weed. There's just one thing that I need. I got an addiction to fruit trees. Got an addiction to fruit trees. I take a persimmon to breathe. Hey, the next one I'm getting jujube. Got an addiction to fruit trees. Alright, so this is where we've been going. I don't know if you can see the sign from here, but I'm sure you can kind of recognize it. We're at Starbucks. Now there's 3 locations like on my way home from work. I'm not gonna take you to all 3 today, but I just wanted to take you to one of them and show you what I've been getting. I'm sure you know what it is. If it's Starbucks, then it's gotta be coffee grounds. So let's take a look. All right, so here it is. Now this is relatively small amount based in comparison to what I usually get. Let me put this in the car and then I'll come back. Yeah, so what I was trying to say is that was relatively a small bag compared to what I usually get from there. And like I said, there's like 3 locations that I go to and get the coffee grounds from. That bag that I just picked up was easily 25 pounds or so, maybe 30 pounds. But there's some in some cases I'll get like 50, 60 pounds. And like I said, we've got 3 locations. So that's the other material. You know, I've taken you all to the landfill where I've gotten stuff, and I mentioned that I would take you or talk about where I get, you know, some of my other organic materials that I've been gathering. So that's the other place. Like I said, there's 3 of them. I generally go like anywhere between like 1 and 3 times a week. If I go 3 times a week, I can easily get a few hundred pounds of coffee grounds. So, and I don't always get coffee, like, you know, and actually I don't get coffee, I get tea. If I get anything, like maybe once a week, I'll go get a chai with 10 stevia packets and some coconut cream. Spend like $6 or $7, $6 and change, and potentially get like a few hundred pounds of coffee grounds a week. So I feel like that's a trade-off, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take you to another spot as well. Hold on. Yep, so we back at the landfill. So why are we back at the landfill, VA? I thought we would be going somewhere different, somewhere new. We've been here before. You know, what is it that why are you bringing us back here? Well, I wanted to show you something that I thought was very important. This is a big pile of leaves and brush and things like that. I've showed you this before, but I actually have 2 45-gallon contractor bags full of leaves from my property that I'll be dumping here. And the reason why I thought that was important, I'll tell you about that in just a minute. Let me dump these bags, and then I'll go grab some of the forestry materials from the other side, and then I'll talk about why I felt it was important to show you this and to talk about this. All right, just to kind of reiterate my point, look at this. This is a raised bed soil. Raised bed soil. Ingredients. Formulated with one or more of the following: processed forest products. That's the first ingredient in this one. So let's go over to this one. This one is for garden. This is for vegetables and herbs, right? Ingredients. Formulated with one or more of the following products: peat, processed forest products, compost. That's for vegetables and herbs. And then we come over here. This is garden soil. This is all-purpose ingredients. One or more of the following: peat, processed forest products. And let's look at one more. This one is a potting mix. This one, ingredients. It is made from peat, processed forest products, etc., etc. That's all that stuff is. The processed forest products, that's the stuff that we get for free. And these bags, I'm looking at them at like $9 and up. Yeah, so this is Dome Depot that we're at, where I just showed you the labels. I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep stressing this whole landfill thing until I get a bunch of people to say, all right, VA, I'm doing it. I'm tapping. Don't talk about it no more. Because I mean, that's a free resource. That's a free, I just showed you on multiple bags, whether you're using the bags for your trees, you're using it for your vegetable beds, your annual beds, same stuff in it. You know, forestry products, that's the stuff that we're getting from the landfill for free. But that's not the point of this video. Let me get home and then I'll get to the actual point. But get to your landfills, please. Contact your landfills to see where they're dumping this stuff and get you some. I'm telling you, the fall is where you get this stuff. Basically the soil, the forestry product stuff, because it has leaves. When people are cleaning their leaves up, people are cleaning their yards up, that's where you get the stuff that I just showed you in those bags, the forestry products. Other times of the season, you know, when there's no leaves on the ground and people are not cleaning up their yards, you'll get mostly wood chips. But who can't use either one of those? My goal this fall is to fill up at least 2 of those 45-gallon contractor bags full of that forestry product stuff. And I'll store it the same way that I store when we make leaf mold. You know, you punch holes in the bags, put some water in the bags, just let it sit. By the time I go to use it, the stuff will look exactly the way that it looks when you get it out of a bag. You know, there's other things in those bags like coconut core peat moss, things like that. I mean, you can amend it with that type of stuff, but it's not always necessary. You know, you take that stuff and you add some, if you've got compost, use some compost. You got worm castings, you use worm castings. You know, a lot of y'all have chickens and rabbits and ducks and things like that. You know, use the bedding from that. And there you go. You got instant fertility. You know what I mean? But even without that stuff is fertility in itself. You know what I mean? So just get it. But let me get home and I'll get to the point. All right, bear with me, y'all. All right, we're back home. So let's get to the point of this video. VA, why was it important to take us to Starbucks? We all know about coffee grounds, you know. Why was that important? Well, just to tell you my process, you know, generally like in the morning, like I said, there's 3 Starbucks that I hit up on my way home from work. In the morning, I call, or if I get a tea, I'll go up there and I'll talk to them and ask them, can you hold your coffee grounds for me? I'll let them know what time I plan on coming back. And they're generally like real good with holding them. And like I said, you know, if I go 3 times a week, which is not always, you know, how I do it, but if I do, I can easily get a few 100 pounds in a week's time. You know, just getting coffee grounds. And why did I find it important to go to the landfill? We've been there before. We've been there plenty of times before. I know y'all are tired of me talking about it. So here's the thing. You know, when I went to Starbucks, I mentioned that maybe once a week I'll get a tea, right? I spend about $6 and change, a little less than $7 for a tea. That's like once every week or so. And then I also mentioned when I went to the landfill that I took those 2 45-gallon bags of leaves from my property and took it over to the landfill. Now, I'll be holding on to a lot of my leaves here. I've got so much, you know, it gets overwhelming. I'll be holding on to them, trying to make leaf mold and then holding on to it for carbon material for compost next spring. But, you know, I have been taking leaves over to the landfill as well. The reason that I did, and this is the important point, is because, you know, these are free resources, no doubt. But in life, it's important that we don't just take, that we also give, that we give back to what we take from, right? So we don't, how can I word this? So just think about your personal relationships, right? Think about the people in your life that you have personal relationships with, people that you love, people that you rely on, even people that you help. You know, you might have somebody like, you know, my aunt so-and-so, man. I mean, I can call her and talk to her about anything. You know, she helps me work through my issues. You know, she helps me. She listens to me when I tell her about the stuff I'm going through at work. You know, or my friend so-and-so, you know, she's somebody I can vent to, or he's somebody I can vent to. That's cool. That's cool having those types of relationships. But if you think about it in this regard, like, do you think if you have somebody that you rely on emotionally or mentally, do you think you're the only person that does? And even though they may be really good because they love you very much, they may be really good with helping you work through your stuff, it's taxing. It's taxing. And it could take a toll on that person as well. I'm just using this as an example. Just think about all your relationships. And, and I'll tell you why this is important. Those people that you rely on, a lot of times they need to be poured into just like they pour into other people, right? So if you think about those relationships, think about it in this regard. Like, what can I give back to this person that gives to me all the time? You don't want to be an energy, you don't want to suck the energy out of people and not give them anything back. Like, I've had friends where they'll call me, talk about their issues, they'll talk about their problems, they're going for hours. And this is still now, And then it's like, after they tell me about this stuff, they're ready to get off the phone. They feel better, but I feel dumped on, you know what I mean? And, you love these people, but it can be draining. So what can you give back to those people that are there for you? Now, with Starbucks and the landfill, see, life works in circles, right? We talk about the circle of life. We talk about yin and yang. Some people they call it give and take. Life works best that way. Life is more efficient that way. So me going to Starbucks every so often to buy tea, that's me supporting a business that has been supportive of me by giving me access to this free resource. Yes, the resource is free, but it still costs to produce this free resource. Even though they would just discard it, it's still a cost attached to it. If I can be supportive by buying a tea every so often, like $6 and change every week in exchange for like a few 100 pounds of coffee grounds, it's not a lot, but it's still me giving back something. Me going to the landfill and contributing to that wonderful, humongous pile of forestry materials by donating some of my leaves here. I mean, it's me giving back as opposed to me just going to the landfill and taking, and who knows, maybe some of my leaves will come back to my property. You know what I mean? But you want to give to these establishments. You want to give to these people. You want to give to these entities so that that resource that you enjoy so much, it'll continue to be available to you. Just think about going back to your personal relationships. You suck the life out of people. It may be a day where you can't go to them no more. Like, they just make themselves unavailable to you because they need to recharge. They need to regenerate. You know what I mean? I had one of my co-workers was... This person, everybody goes to her. All the other coworkers go to her to vent about work and about their personal stuff. And she was just telling me a few days ago, I'm thinking about blocking everybody. It happens. You're taking from this person. A bunch of you are taking from this person and you're not giving nothing back. So it's important, in my opinion, to operate in a circle like the universe does, like nature does. Operate in a circle. Don't just take, give back as well. There's people who will go to Starbucks and grab coffee grounds and never buy coffee, never buy tea, never buy a muffin or nothing. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. But it's always best to operate the same way that nature does, in circles. So, that's why I found it important to let you know, like, this is what I've been doing in the fall. I'll continue to do this in the wintertime as far as gathering materials from these two places. Actually, God willing, it'll be a year-round thing for me, because it's exciting for me now. I talked about how we're soil farmers. We're not just gardeners, we're soil farmers. So I know that, like, we get anxious for the spring because we want to plant seeds. We want to see them sprout. We want to see them grow. We want to water them. We want to feed them. We want to be able to harvest. That's all good. And that's the goal. But if you look at yourself as a soil farmer, this is adding fertility. This is adding life. This is feeding the soil microbes and the insects and things that make it possible for you to grow. So I'll be doing this year round. And I wanted to, reiterate that as well. But my biggest point with this video was, yes, to show you my activity and what you can be doing as well. but to also let you know that it's very important to give and not just take. All right, so let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I'm not going to stop taking you onto that landfill until I get a bunch of people to say that they're going to go. So let me know if you're going or if you've already gone, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.